It's Julia on Fridays. Yay! Hey guys, it's Julia and it's Friday again on the Weekly Bliss. Later on today I'm going to be going to a party at a friend's house and so that should be fun. The topic for this week is, what are you? What is your nationality? Genealogy? Genealogy. What is your nationality genealogy? My nationality is American. I'm from the U.S. Said here in Japan, whenever they ask me where I'm from, I always say Californian, and I do tend to say California instead of United States, and that's just because California it gets a better response. I mean, America already gets like an okay response, but California is like, oh, that's cool. So I always tell people I'm from California instead of U.S. As for my genealogy, I am mostly German and Irish. But I guess I do have a little bit of French in me because my last name is French. But mostly German and Irish. I know it might be kind of weird, people who actually like grew up in these other cultures, for Americans such as myself to talk so much about genealogy and, oh, my family came from this place and this place, when we actually as individuals don't have that sort of experience, culture, or anything like that. But from my perspective, what I think is that I find it interesting to, when I like meet people, to like see their features and kind of think, oh, I wonder if they're such and such. Their ancestors came from such and such place. Anyway, on to responses. B. I laughed so hard when you asked me. At first, when you asked me about whether I say my responses back in alphabetical order of people's names, I didn't know what you're talking about, and then I thought for a moment and realized, okay, wait, I usually say my responses in the order B, Shelby, Daryl, and Ulysses. And I realized that was because I didn't realize before that those were actually alphabetical order. What I was actually doing was that each week I say my responses in the order in which the videos come after my video. And so it's a coincidence that it's alphabetical order in all my videos. But that's quite an enjoyable observation. I enjoyed it and I laughed a lot. Shelby, having grown up in an area with a lot of Filipino people, I have heard a lot of interesting foods. I've heard that Filipino food has lots of things that can be very strange to say American tastes. So my question to you is, what is the strangest Filipino food that you've ever had to American standards? Actually, I'll ask this to everybody. What is the strangest food that you've ever had by, say, Western standards? Let's go with that, because we're not all Americans. What is the strangest food that you've ever had? The strangest food that I've ever had is actually kind of controversial, and I only ate it because I was being a guest at somebody's house, and so I didn't feel like being rude. So I might not actually tell what this food was unless you guys were all like, you guys all reply that you'll understand the fact that I was a guest and this isn't something I chose to eat. So, yes, tell me about the strangest thing you've ever eaten. And how was it? Ulysses, I'm starting to wonder now if you watch our videos, because so far you haven't responded to anyone and you haven't given any sign that you heard anything that we told you last week about us wanting you to talk to us and take part of the theme each week. So hopefully we'll get that worked out with you sometime. Daryl, I wrote down on your note, introduce us to your cats. That's up to you. Yes, there is fish and chips in the U.S. I used to go to fish and chips place with my family all the time when I was younger. I don't know about Japan, though. Fish is generally either raw or grilled. It's fried occasionally, but I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of a lot of occasions where they fry fish, like deep fry fish. Just a side note, French fries, as they are known in the U.S., and chips, as they are known in the U.K., are known as fried potatoes in Japan. Fried potato. I think a name for it because, you know, it's like away from the whole French fry and chips conflict by simply just saying what it is. Oh yeah, and also Daryl, you showed us the very, very tiny origami frog, and that was really cool. But I have something to counter that with. See, usually it's impressive with origami to make things very, very small. For example, in the Hiroshima Peace Museum that I've been to a few times, they have paper cranes that are about this big. They had someone actually folded with a needle, with needles. I tend to be just kind of contrary to things by nature. I made a big origami crane with newspaper. I'm extremely tempted to take this back to the U.S. with me when I go back. Just because I like it. I'm very fond of this. This is gonna be the biggest origami crane I'll ever make until I find a bigger piece of paper, and I will. So that's all for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye. Can't think.